Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Fresh Out the Podcast, the greatest podcast for you to hear us complain about things that you like. I'm the board game guru, game master extraordinaire, Jahananan.
And I'm the professional media and movie mastermind, the Funhouse Drew Munhausen, and welcome to episode 161 of Fresh Out the Podcast. A fantastic episode. I know it's going to be. It's been a while. I know we last recorded before I went to the film festival, and then I was at the film festival, and then last week I was still recovering from the festival, and I said I did not have capacity, and you were a trooper, and so now here we are finally getting to reunite and discuss some fun stuff. So, Jahan, how have you been?
I've been good, man. Tired, reading. The baby's killing me, but hey, it's all good. Busy at work again. Things are, picking up. Holiday season's getting wild. We're getting ready to go out of town. Things are crazy, man, but, I'm still trying to find time to do all the things I like.
And you told me that the baby is walking, and I'm
He
here
can
to
walk
tell you
now.
it does not get easier. So just get ready.
Oh, I don't think it's gonna. Yeah, he's walking, he's climbing. It's gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna be real fun.
Well, there's some big news regarding Xbox Game Pass that broke, I believe, last week, and I do want to get into that. And you and I haven't really gotten to talk deep about it, but I did want to talk about Fantastic Fest really quick before we get into it. And when we do our fresh movies of the week, I have some quick hits from the Fantastic Fest, some highlights of movies that I saw. But I just like talking about the fest in general. It was my fourth time going. For those who don't know, Fantastic Fest is a genre film festival. It's a lot of horror and weird stuff, a lot of stuff you can only see at Fantastic Fest. It takes place in Austin, Texas, at the Alamo Drafthouse, South Lamar. So it's pretty nice because the whole festival takes place in that theater. They shut it down to the public for the full week of the theater, and just every theater is showing movies for this festival at the Alamo Drafthouse. And so you have to, plan your meals and things like that, because if you eat Alamo Drafthouse food all day, every day, it does not equal good things for your body and physical well-being. And so that part of it is tough, but
Nah, you'll
man,
be pooping.
oh, for sure. And this year, I think I saw about 20 movies at the festival. I think if you see a movie, hold on, let me do some math here. Two, 7 Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If you go to a movie in every single slot at the festival, you could see a maximum of 37 movies. That's the most movies you could see there, and I saw about 20. So I
Jeez.
skip a lot of the like midnight showings each day, so that's right there. That's like 7 movies that I miss. And as the festival goes on, sometimes I'll skip the morning screening, like go get lunch somewhere, stuff like that. Just it's a lot, even for somebody who likes movies as much as I do. Seeing 5 movies a day every day for a week straight is difficult. So
It's pretty crazy,
there's
man.
that. It is,
I don't think
and
I can do that, man.
yeah, it's tough. They had 4 secret screenings this year, all of which I thought were pretty cool in their own way. So I'll talk about some of those in fresh movies of the week, or I can list some of them. The secret screenings this year were there's a remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night that's coming out in December. I saw that. They showed Begonia, the new Yorgos Lanthimos movie starring Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. They showed One Battle After Another prior to its release. The Paul Thomas Anderson directed movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio. And the last one was probably the most unexpected. Was they showed the new Gore Verbinski movie that's not coming out till January, called Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. And I'll talk about all those things there. But there was a lot of stuff. I really liked some of the highlights of the movies. They had like their marquee movies, Black Phone 2, which comes out here in a couple weeks. I actually really liked it. Sisu Road to Revenge, the sequel to Sisu, which is kind of like a John Wick-esque action movie. They had their opening night film Primate, which is a like kind of a monkey monster movie. And yeah, I'll talk about all these things. But yeah, overall it was a really good time. But John, I missed you while I was there.
I miss you too, buddy. I like our weekly
Um,
chats.
Me too. Me too. It has been a time of year, man. I think for both of us, from a parenting perspective, from a life perspective, man, it's been a lot. And I know, you know, it's one thing for us to say that everybody feels that way, I think, on Earth. So it's not like that's limited to just us, but it doesn't make it any less true.
Yeah, everyone listening is probably worn out, tired. Hang in there. Don't give up on the things you love doing. Keep on doing them. You can find the time. Just maybe you have to put some things to the side, but just don't give up on those things, man. They make life worth living.
Absolutely. And sometimes some of those things that you love to do involve playing video games. And we have been on here on this very podcast. We have been two of the biggest, and when Gary was part of this, three of the biggest advocates for Xbox Game Pass for the longest time. Uh, you know, known by a lot as the best, the greatest value in gaming. We've said that. You, in particular, Jahan, have said that many a times. And in the past 14 months, I'll just get to it. They announced a price increase for Xbox Game Pass, which is standard these days. I feel like there's a new Netflix price increase every other month. We're seeing it with all the streamers. Apple TV Plus just got a price increase. That's normal. I think the most shocking thing about the Xbox Game Pass announcement is that it's a 50% increase. So it went up from $19.99 a month for the ultimate version of the tier to $29.99 a month. So $30 a month now for Game Pass. And they kind of restructured their tiers below that. But a 50% increase is pretty hefty. And I have to admit, I was pretty taken aback by this. And as somebody who has loved Xbox and Game Pass for so long, I've been pretty open with a lot of the decisions Microsoft has been making, releasing their games on other platforms, and just a little bit of shakiness there with some of their messaging. I have been kind of transitioning to being more of a PlayStation gamer myself. I've been buying my multi-platform games there. I was texting you the other day. I just bought a 4 terabyte SSD for my PlayStation 5, and I opened it up, put that in there, and so it's amazing to have now 5 terabytes of storage, including the storage that came on the console. So
It's pretty cool.
it is nice to just be able to download what you want and not have to think about making room or what I'm going to delete. Or even if it's something you might not ever play, just download it because you can. Why not? I've been making some changes there, but I still have my Game Pass subscription because there are things that come out there that I want to play. But for the first time ever, this price increase really made me say, do I need this right
Yeah.
now? Is this worth it? $30 a month, that's $360 a year. That's the equivalent of about 5 fully priced $70 games in a year, which I don't know if I buy that many more. I take it back. Like probably in that realm. I buy a year. So, I mean, how about you, Jahan? I'm interested to see what your reaction to this is. If it made you really think about your subscription, and where do you stand on this?
It has been, like, honestly, like, I'm doing better financially in my life than I really ever have. I got a good job, like, everything is gone up, but, like, I had a kid, and the whole world and the economy took a huge shit. So, like, money's not the best. Like, I don't have that much. You know what I mean? I'm doing okay, but, like, you gotta watch them pennies, and $30 a month is substantial. 50% increase is crazy. $10 a month extra, $120 a year extra. That's two $60 games. That's almost two full price games a year extra. just for no reason, just extra. And what are they giving us? You know, they added what Hogwarts Legacy to Game Pass,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
like a 3-year-old game. You know what I mean? Like, what are we getting for it? Like, they're like, we're adding value. It's like, no, you're not. You're not adding anything new. You're adding old games that have been discounted. Like, I've seen that game discounted to like $30 on PC before. Like,
Oh
it's
yeah,
for
that game's in sales every other month. You could for sure get that game on its own for less than a month worth of Game Pass if you keep an eye out for the sales.
yeah, man. What they've been buying up companies, inflating their share prices so they can get their, you know, whatever their dividends and all that stuff, and they're making money hand over fist at the top, and now they're passing the buck down to us, and it's a huge fuck you to the average consumer. You know what I mean? Like, as far as like annual salaries go, like, I don't make that much, but I'm doing better than a lot of people. A lot of people are making a lot less than me, and those people, this is a huge amount of money to the average person. This is a very significant increase, and a lot of people scoff at this. Like, I've seen people online, like, if you're a real fan, like, $120 a year is not a big deal. That's bullshit, and you're entitled. This is a huge amount of money. This is like a month of formula. You know what I mean? Like, this is a lot of money. Like, uh I don't know, man. And it's just out of nowhere, and I'm pretty pissed off about it. Xbox hasn't. They've been teetering the edge of like viability against PlayStation for a while now, and I'm just like, man, like I feel like next time I'm gonna get a PlayStation. Like, they really just aren't doing it right now. Unless they do something significant to change Game Pass and like be like, holy shit, like all the games are free or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see the value there anymore. It is no longer the greatest value in gaming. There's still some value there, but $30 a month for games you don't get a pick, and a lot of them are like small indie games, some of which are good, some of which are shit, and then every now and again you get a great game. It's just not worth it to me anymore, and I think I'm going to cancel.
It comes with a caveat, right? Like, it is still probably one of the greatest values in gaming with an asterisk, and that asterisk is for the most hardcore of Xbox gamers.
If you're playing a lot.
Right. And I actually was considering, so I'm going to do a little bit of the flip side. Well, first off, I'll say, to me, this price increase says two things, which there have been people out there, gaming influencers or people in the gaming industry, especially on the press side, who have said, I don't understand how Game Pass is profitable for Xbox. And Microsoft has been out there saying for years, like, oh, it is profitable. But there have now been people that are no longer with Microsoft who have come out and said it's not profit, or they're not counting X, Y, and Z when they say that it's profitable. You know, the amount of money that they're spending for internal development or things like that. Like, they're not counting all of that. And so, to me, this price increase says absolutely Game Pass was not profitable before.
Yeah.
And it also says Microsoft shelled out almost $70 billion to buy Activision Blizzard, and now they've got to put their money where their mouth is. Or, you know, I should say they gotta figure out a way to make money, to make up for that purchase, and this is a way to do that. You know, a huge purchase like that, which got them a huge library and a lot of IP, which is great, but like that comes with a cost for the consumer, like for Microsoft to have these things. And when I went in considering to cancel it, I said, okay, well, let me see what's on the slate right now. And to their credit, you know, they just announced today, actually, a lineup of games coming out in October in the coming weeks. And this month we have the Ninja Gaiden 4.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me actually pull up the list here, because there were a few things that of note on here. Sorry, I did not have this readily available. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden 4 comes out later this month, which that I believe will be a $70 release if you don't have Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's nice. Keeper, which is the new Double Fine game, that's a weird game where you play as like a lighthouse
Yeah,
controlled by a bird or something.
that one looks
I
pretty
like
cool.
all the Double Fine games. Like I've always been a fan of Psychonauts and things like that. So I will play this. And I believe the Outer Worlds 2 releases this month, if I have my release date correct. I'm looking to see this now. Yeah, October 29th. So Outer Worlds 2 is another $70 release. Actually, that's one they were going to try to sell for $80 on its own, and
Oh
people got
God.
so bent out of shape about it that they walked it back. This was around the time that Mario Kart World was announced to be $80. And so Microsoft came out and said Outer Worlds 2 would be $80. People got really been out of shape. They walked it back. It is now a $70 game, which is a typical full-priced new release game. So right there, Ninja Gaiden 4, Outer Worlds 2, Keeper. I'm like, all right, that's worth me keeping my subscription for the next month because those are
Yeah,
games that I will probably play.
it's one way to look at it.
November, yeah, November, you've got Call of Duty coming out. And full transparency, I wouldn't, if Call of Duty wasn't on Game Pass, I probably wouldn't go pay $70 to play the new Call of Duty because I don't like
Me
Call of
neither.
Duty enough to do so.
Yeah.
But if it's on Game Pass and it's there available to me, will I pay $30 to play Call of Duty for a month, like a handful of time with some friends that are playing it? Like, yeah, I probably will. So, like, my subscription for October and November seems justified, but the real question mark is beyond that
Yeah.
because I'm not really sure. Like, what do we have from Xbox Game Studios coming out next year? I assume Gears of War E-Day will come out next year,
Mm-hmm.
but like Fable will be next year.
Fable is a big one.
And I believe there'll be a new Forza Horizon game next year. So I'm like, okay, those are all $70 releases potentially. That's $210 worth of value. If there's more than that, then maybe it's worth it. They've said that if you go to a lower tier, which is cheaper, you will get these games not day one with Game Pass, but within a year of them releasing. But I'm like, I usually,
Within a
we
year? Jeez.
yeah. We have a podcast here. Like, I want to stay part of the conversation. And if Fable comes out, I want to be playing Fable the week it comes out. And I want to talk
Sure.
about it. And I want to talk about it on here with you. So I think, like, we just had the Summer Gaming, all the press conferences and everything. And Xbox had, it had an okay show. And they had a lot of reveals, but, like, not all of those reveals, especially from the third party partners, do we know if those are coming to Game Pass or not? And I think what happens now is that we know the Xbox first party games are going to come to Game Pass day one if you have an Ultimate subscription. I need to know what third party partnerships y'all have or what other big games are going to have.
And they need to be a little more
Justify-
transparent about that. Yeah.
I mean, I guess like it's just when you're already paying for Netflix and Disney Plus with Hulu and HBO Max and Apple TV Plus and Paramount Plus and Peacock and all these different things, those in itself, the streaming is a whole nother conversation, but to get every streaming package you want, that's more expensive than it used to be to have every single channel, on typical cable bundles that you would get through your provider. Streaming is more expensive. It has finally, the cord cutters who got rid of the cable are now paying more than they were. And that's the whole issue in itself. When you're already doing that, and on top of that, here's $30 now for your Xbox gaming subscription. I hope you're using it every month.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, which is the issue that I now run into with playing so much stuff on PlayStation, it's like, there might be a month where I'm not really playing my Xbox too much, and did I just throw $30 into the abyss?
Right into the toilet, man. Yeah, I mean, you bring up a lot of good points. I just get mad at capitalism. Yeah, it's hard, man. There's so many subscriptions. I just dropped Disney Plus and Hulu over the whole, freedom of speech issues. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I did that, but it is hard. There's still, there is still value there. It's just, damn, man, it's becoming, the price has become prohibitive to some people for sure. It's not as easy as it once was. They added, I went and looked at a bunch of the games that just popped up. They, it seems like they added a bunch of their Ubisoft Plus to the Game Pass stuff.
They did. That was part of the announcement. They added like the Ubisoft Plus, library. They added a whole bunch of other. Yeah, they added some, but it's all stuff that I was like, okay, I don't care
If
about
you want to play
playing
Assassin's Creed
old Assassin's Creed
games from
games.
10 years ago, old Far Cry's and Rabbids games that no one played, then you're in luck. Yeah, it just makes me mad.
Yeah.
I get that they need to be profitable. I just wish that they didn't have to stick it to us to do that. But yeah, and I also really, all these acquisitions, man, if you are going to spend that money, we need to see stuff from it if we're going to be paying for it. You know what I mean?
They said that there will be 75 plus day one games in a year, including all Xbox published games day one, which, like, that on paper sounds good, but we know that some of those games are going to be independently developed games that probably retail for like 15, $20 on their own. It's not all going to be $70 AAA games.
Yeah, and some of them
And
will
not,
be good. And, like, not to disparage any games, some of the best games ever are indie games. Expedition 33. But sometimes those games are shit. And, they're not telling us what quality those are going to be. You know what I mean? Half of them could
right.
be garbage. So,
Yeah, so it's tough. So I think I was really eager to rush to cancel. I did take a step back and say, okay, let me really think about this. And I think that it's worth keeping for now, but I think entering 2026 as we close out this year, it's going to take a little bit more of a reassessment on that front. I think that these drops of what's coming out, in the coming weeks, because I believe with Game Pass, you can drop out at any point and restart your subscription,
Yeah.
or lower a tier and then rise back up a tier, which, I'll always keep it, I guess, to some degree because I want online access, and you have to have at least the core or basic, whatever the most basic plan is, to have that.
Yeah, you do, don't you? I've never had to worry about that because I've always had some form of it. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, the reason why I would keep it is because we do have the podcast, and I do want to stay relevant with it. I enjoy it. I enjoy being able to pop on and play the games, be like, hey, I played it, checked it out, talk about it. I mean, that's a good point. But from a consumer standpoint, it's definitely become iffy. So, fight the power.
Like, in hindsight, would I have paid full price for Avowed when it came out? Like, I don't know. I would have bought Indiana Jones as a full price game.
I
Trying to
can
trying to think
fairly safely say I would not have bought either of them.
Yeah. South of Midnight, I mean, I maybe would have waited. Those are games that I liked and I played this year that were Game Pass games, but if I didn't have a subscription, would I have bought those? Probably not. So it's like, it's nothing lost there. I don't know. It's just, it truly does give a whole new perspective. I believe that in 14 months, we have seen Game Pass go from, I believe, $17.99 to now $29.99.
Hey, I don't know if I would have played the Altars because it looked like it was hard to tell how good it was going to be by looking at it. But since it was free, I said, what the hell, I'll try it. And it was one of my favorite games
That's like
of
one
the
of your
year.
Game of the Year choices.
Yeah,
right?
I really liked that game a lot. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely had its pluses for sure this year. So, I mean, whenever we talk about these things, it's hard. I mean, we're not economists,
Right.
it's hard to really you know, we don't have the facts and figures in front of us. We're just two guys with a podcast. So don't take anything we're saying as gospel, but it just
Yeah,
sucks.
we're just guys that liked Xbox and used to be all about Xbox, and I have been open about my journey transitioning away from Xbox as hardcore as I was. Now, granted, like I played Doom Eternal the day it came out, or the week it came out and beat it, and platinum, equivalent of platinum in an Xbox. Like I'll play these games when Xbox has stuff on Game Pass. I do hop over there, but yeah, I'll get into some PlayStation stuff later because I have been playing some games there
There's
currently.
so many things that I'm jealous of on PlayStation that, like, next time I'm thinking I might go there, man. Like, I see one on that list that you're going to talk about that I am sad. Very, very sad I
Yeah.
don't get to play. But
I
yeah,
think what's going to be really interesting is seeing here in 2 to 3 years when conversation really ramps up about future consoles and what direction Xbox is going with that and what direction. Well, I mean, we know what PlayStation's going to do. I think, like, right, they're going to have the PS6 and it's going to be the next PlayStation, but like, will Xbox have a new Xbox? Will they be something else? Will they be more open concept? Like, that's what's going to be really interesting to see. There's always rumors from gamers saying they're not going to keep making consoles. Microsoft has remained pretty steadfast saying that they're still building consoles. So, but still, I mean, more and more of these games are coming out day and date on PlayStation. We just saw Gears of War launch on PlayStation the same day as that remaster came out on Xbox. I looked. I didn't realize that game's retailing on PlayStation for $39.99. I'm like, that's a pretty good deal. If you're a PlayStation gamer who's never had an Xbox and you've never played a Gears of War game, to get the first Gears of War in this new like remastered, redefined version with all the bells and whistles for $40, it's pretty worth it.
you mean like
Um,
almost everyone in Japan?
yeah, yeah. I mean, exactly. So I haven't looked to see how well that game sold, if well at all, but at least it's there for an affordable price entry.
I bet you some Japanese people played that game and are like, what the fuck is wrong with Americans? With the chainsaw guns and all that shit. They're like, jeez.
Yeah. True, especially that one where they're like these big old bulky manly men, like just weird proportions, super odd. Yeah, very very America.
So American. But
Oh goodness.
that was a good
Well,
talk.
anything else you want to add about Game Pass?
Um no. I feel like we talked about it enough. I feel like I got a lot of it out. Um and I feel like I'm gonna make some decisions. But yeah, I feel like I'm in a good place emotionally. Let's move on to fresh
Good.
movies.
Let's do it. Let's move on to fresh movies of the week. The most recent theatrical release that I went to see was The Smashing Machine. This is the movie starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It's directed
Uh,
by Benny Safdie of the Safdie brothers. And this is kind of Dwayne's first attempt really at like a prestige performance piece movie. The Rock has been, I say The Rock, the Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Who knows what he would prefer me to call him? He's always going to be The Rock to me, especially when you're talking about him in action movie mode. I'm like, The Rock was in the Fast and the Furious movies and was the Scorpion King and this
too
and
bad
that.
he
But like,
wasn't in The Rock. I feel like
this
they should do a remake.
this is decidedly a Dwayne Johnson picture, and I will say the movie is okay. It's good. His performance is good. He is good in it. I do think that this is the type of stuff he needs to be doing right now because after things like Black Adam and Red One and whatnot, it's just not what you want, and not all those movies were working. Although Red One, I think, actually made decent money and then was like the biggest streaming movie on Amazon Prime Video. You and I got to see that um, at like an IMAX press screening, which was fun in itself, even though I think the movie was like not great.
It
Um,
wasn't, but that's fine.
But like The Rock's past few years was getting to a point of like, man, he's making these movies that are kind of cringy, or they're making me be like, all right, get it back on track. And I think this is the right thing to do is like focus on the art and the craft and do something neat like this and take some risks because he wasn't taking risks. I think that's what it comes out down to. He was doing tried and true action blockbuster fare that could be sold on Dwayne the Rock Johnson. And this movie bombed at the box office this past weekend. This movie did really bad. Like, was originally projected to make like 12 to 15 million dollars. It made $6 million domestically at the box office. So nobody went to see this. It also was supposed to have a wide open line this past weekend, being the only new movie opening, until Taylor Swift announced for her new like album release watch party thing to come out the same weekend, and that made $33 million this past weekend domestically, and just absolutely stumped.
That most recent one where she talks about being dickmatized?
Yes, that album where you could pay full price admission at the movie theater to go and sit and watch lyric videos of all the new songs, some behind the scenes videos of like production of this album, and I believe like a full music video showed in it, and like that's about it. And enough people went and did that, and this movie, if you can even call it that, made $33 million. And the Eras tour being shown in theaters, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, that's a tour that people were really wanting to get to. Tickets sold out. There are a lot of people that wanted to be there that couldn't. Go see it at the theater. It's the next best thing. This whole album release party is truly for the most hardcore Swifties. I'm sorry, Jahan. I'm talking smack, and you were probably there, weren't you?
You gotta give these people their crack, or they'll riot, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep. So,
Travis Kelce got a dick like a redwood, apparently. So that's fun. And he dickmatized Taylor Swift.
I'm not going there right now. We're not doing this, but the Smashing Machine got smashed at the box office. But I think the movie's okay. It's not great. It's poorly paced. And I do think that Dwayne's performance. What's the old fresh out the podcast joke? What I call him? We used to reference this all the time.
James
the Rock
James
Johnson.
the Rock Johnson.
Yeah, James. Yeah. My boy James. The performance is good. It's probably his best performance. I feel confident saying that. From an acting perspective, it's his best performance. But for somebody like me who really pays attention to the awards race, and there's some tough competition this year, and to me it really lacked, like, during the Oscars when they're announcing the nominees for Best Actor or Best Actress, and you see the clips, you see the Oscar clips, like of the actor, actress in the movie. Like, to me, this movie lacked like that clip. I needed that moment where I'm just like, wow, this is acting. There's some good ones. It gets close, and there's some emotional moments. There's some of his best acting is when he's not talking. There's like long shots of him being silent, soaking in a loss of a fight. I didn't even say what the movie's about. It's about one of the first UFC heavyweights, Mark Kerr. This is in like the early days of MMA fighting, when it was like really coming up in the late 90s, before it was the huge phenomenon that it is now, and how these guys like dealt with that career and helped kind of build the sport before it was a big deal, and went through tough times and struggled with opioid addictions and things like that. So like that's kind of what this movie gets into. I thought it was going to be like more tragic than it is. It's not like tragedy porn, like some of these movies are. Mark Kerr is still like alive and doing well, and seems like a super nice guy. And so I think that it's really interesting if you're a fan of Dwayne Johnson and you want to see him do something different. I do recommend The Smashing Machine, even though I think the movie is okay to good. It's all right. So there's that. And then now I'm going to go through Fantastic Fest movies. I mentioned some of these at the top, but the first one I'm going to talk about is One Battle After Another, which is the Paul Thomas Anderson movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Chase Infinity, Tiana Taylor, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, a lot of people in this movie. This is the best movie I've seen this year.
Oh boy.
That's why I'm throwing it out there first because it's out in theaters now. It is really good. It is it is so good. Go see One Battle After Another. I don't need to talk about what the plot is, what this and that. Like all I can say is go see it. It's worth it. You won't be disappointed. It's like a 2 hour and 40-minute movie, and it flew by. Like I would have thought it was 2 hours. Um, I just loved everything about this, from the performances to the action to the comedy to the because there is like a lot of just there's satire, but like it's very funny at times. And I think that the trailers, the marketing team for this movie had a tough job to really sell this movie for what it is, but like ultimately it's everything. And it's so great and I highly recommend it. If you like movies, go see One Battle After Another. I can't give it higher praise than that.
I mean, you said it's the best movie you've seen all year, and you've seen every movie this year.
Yeah, and I mean, there's been some great movies. Like I loved Sinners, I loved Weapons. I
Yeah,
really liked
Sinners came
Superman.
out this year. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I really like Superman. Like, there's been a lot of good movies, but One Battle After Another is better than all those.
Oh wow.
So I say it is the only movie that I have seen this year that I would confidently give 5 out of 5 stars. So there are some that came close. Sinners came close. Weapons came close for me, but they're like those are 4.5 star movies for me.
Yeah, Weapons
And
is on
One Battle
streaming
After
now.
Another.
I've been tempted.
It is very good. I think you would really like it. It's a
It's
wild
hard.
movie.
It's hard to watch horror in my house because I'm like the only person. My mom will watch it sometimes.
I was
But
gonna say this is one that I think it's not jump scary enough. Like I think your mom would enjoy this one.
okay, we'll check it out.
Miss Navisi, check out Weapons with Jahan. Make Jahan watch it with
Okay.
you. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
It's been a while since I watched a movie with my mom. Maybe we'll check it out.
The next one, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Man, this is a weird movie.
I like
Gore
the title.
Verbinski. Yeah. Gore Verbinski is known for like this guy did the original Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy, right? So like he's had like $1 billion franchise. Then he did that he directed the Lone Ranger movie with Armie Hammer and Johnny Depp, which is just truly like a cursed project in hindsight. And it
I've
bombed.
never seen it.
It's not good. I saw it in theaters. It's the only time I've seen it. I barely remember. I just remember not liking it. But Gore Verbinski then went on. He did the last movie that he directed, I believe, came out in 2017. It was called A Cure for Wellness. Had Mia Goth in it, and what's the guy's name? He's in Chronicle and Spider-Man, and I'm forgetting his name. You with me? You know what I'm talking about? Dane DeHaan. That's his name.
I was not there.
That movie, A Cure for Wellness, 2016 is what's saying. Released wide in 2017. Yeah. So Gore Verbinski hasn't had a movie come out in 8 years. And so he was at Fantastic Fest with his new movie called Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, which it's fun when you get a movie like this at a festival because there's no trailer. We know nothing. Like I had to Google really quick before the movie started. I'm like, who is even in this movie? And I start looking at the cast. I'm like, okay, this sounds fun. Sam Rockwell, Haley Lou Richardson, Michael Pena, Zazie Beetz, Juno Temple. I'm like, all right, I'm in. This sounds fun.
I fucking
And
love Zazie Beetz, dude.
Yeah. And so what the movie is, it starts off super fun, and then to me it was kind of downhill from there. But the initial premise is Sam Rockwell shows up in this LA diner in the most like ridiculous getup, and he's like claiming to be from the future, and he needs the help of people in this diner to work with him to save the world. And that on paper, I'm like, all right, I'm in. And there's an immediate twist when you start getting like a Groundhog Day element to it because he starts talking to the people in the diner. Because obviously people react to him as like, you're a psychopath. Well, then he starts telling them things about themselves that only they would know. And it's clear that he has been in this diner multiple times recruiting people. in scenarios that didn't work. And so he's trying to find different combinations of people, like a different crew, to try to save the world and find the right combination that works. And it's like that premise is fun. And then as people start to join him, you start to see flashbacks of them. And ultimately, like the main villain of this movie, like they're trying to stop this powerful AI from being created that causes the apocalypse.
As one does.
And you start, right. You start seeing flashbacks of these different people from earlier in the day or in their lives. And there's kind of these like Black Mirror-esque stories about tech and AI and things, and why they would be inclined to like maybe join this guy's cause to stop like a rogue AI. And I think some of that worked. Some of it I like outright rejected as it's happening. I was like, nope, don't like this. This is stupid. This part of this. It's one of these movies that at times feels like a movie to battle AI that was created by AI. If that even makes sense.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
I really didn't like the climax of the movie. I was turned off by the end of it. I think Sam Rockwell's great throughout. You know, I really like Sam Rockwell, and that's a highlight. But man, this movie just did not work for me as much as I wanted it to, especially with how fun it starts out. I'll be interested to see what the reception is for when this movie comes out, allegedly in January is when it's coming out. So that's good luck, have fun, don't die. I got to see secret screening was Begonia. This is the new Yorgos Lanthimos movie. Yorgos Lanthimos, who most recently did it's about last like awards fair movie was Poor Things, the Emma Stone movie that won her second Oscar. He also did Kinds of Kindness, and before that did The Favorite, which also had Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz in it. And
Rachel Weisz?
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
I believe so.
Oh, I always said Weiss.
I've always said Weiss too, but I believe it actually is pronounced Weiss, like with a V.
It is a double V.
I'm gonna look. Let's check this out.
W
Let's
is
see.
actually a double V. That's true.
Is it SZ? What? There's an S and a Z together.
Is
Yeah,
there?
Weiss. I was saying it right. It's Weiss.
Weiss.
Rachel Weisz.
Who said
Anyway, for
Weiss?
that detour, this movie Begonia. It is the fourth time now that Yorgos Lanthimos and Emma Stone have worked together. And Jesse Plemons is the male lead of this movie. And the premise is that Emma Stone is like a powerful woman CEO of this pharmaceutical company. And Jesse Plemons is like a conspiracy theorist, like YouTube deep diver, just like way in over his head with these things. And he and his, I believe it's his cousin, a family member of his, kidnap Emma Stone's character because they believe her to be an alien that has been sent here to destroy our planet.
That's fun.
It is like Jesse Plemons is so good in this movie. Emma Stone is great in it too. Like the two lead performances are absolutely incredible. I really enjoyed this movie. I would imagine it's going to be out there during the awards race because Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons in particular, their performances are probably going to get awards recognition. But I thought overall this was a pretty fun movie.
Is it a comedy?
It is a comedy.
Okay.
I'd say it's a comedy. It's a dark comedy. It goes there. I'll just say that it goes there. I think it's a really good movie for now and for the times. And I recommend Begonia. I enjoyed it a lot.
Excellent.
Silent Night, Deadly Night. This is like a Christmas horror movie. A guy that wears a Santa suit and he kills people with an axe. Like that's kind of the premise. He hears voices. The days leading up to Christmas, he is required to murder people. But typically they are bad people. So at least he's murdering bad people. I thought this movie was okay. Again, had some pacing issues, but had some fun kills, axe kills. I overall enjoyed this. I don't think it's going to make huge waves when it comes out in December, but overall pretty fun for some holiday horror. Sisu Road to Revenge. John, have you seen Sisu?
I have not.
Have you heard of it? Are you familiar with it at all?
No, I am not.
No, it's good. Sisu came out in 2022.
Okay.
And it is this like it's one of these John Wick-esque action movies. So it's like this. It's set towards the end of World War II. There's this guy who used to be like this army commando. He is retired from that life. He's just trying to, be like a gold prospector. He's mining for gold. And then Nazis come along and steal his gold
As
and,
they do.
try to kill him. And he goes on the revenge tour and murders all these Nazis. It's very fun. It was a small movie that got kind of like a cult following back then when it came out. It was wide released in
Is it a
2023.
period movie?
Yes, it's set like in World War II.
Okay.
Time.
Who's
Not-
the lead?
The lead is Yorma Tamila. I am not familiar with him in anything other than the Sisu movies.
Because it sounds dope. I love watching Nazis die.
I know you said you just canceled your Disney Plus subscription. I believe it is on there.
Weird.
But you can find this movie streaming. I highly recommend it. It's very good. It's like silly, but it's like really gritty and bloody. And I didn't even realize that a sequel to this movie had been greenlit until it was announced that it was premiering at Fantastic Fest. The sequel is called Sisu Road to Revenge. The same actor, Yorma Tomila, I'm probably butchering that, is back. And this time, Stephen Lang, who we know from like the Avatar movies, who's the villain there, and the Don't Breathe movies. He plays the villain in it, and which is like perfect. He's perfect for that kind of thing.
Yeah, he's a good bad
And
guy.
I think that they just up the stakes in this movie. It's crazier. It's bloodier. It's there's a part where a tank does a flip. Like there's explosions to make a tank do a flip. It's exciting. Just some pretty fun stuff. I really enjoyed Sisu 2. For a movie I didn't even know was coming out, to then see it and really enjoy it. I highly recommend when that comes out in November. Black Phone 2, sequel to this is a confusing thing, Jahan. This is marketing people who make movie titles. The first movie is called The Black Phone. Second movie is called Black Phone 2. Dropped the as you can see. So
Okay.
So Black Phone 2 is the sequel to The Black Phone, which is a Blumhouse horror movie. Ethan Hawke plays the villain, like he wears a creepy mask, and in the first movie he's this guy called the Grabber, and he kidnaps kids and keeps them in like a basement and then murders them, and he kidnaps this kid, and he sees like the ghosts of kidnapped kids past, and they help him to basically escape and best Ethan Hawke, the killer in the first movie. They've made a sequel to that movie, so Ethan Hawke's character is like a ghost that's now interacting with the main kid from the first movie, played by Mason Thames, who's actually the lead in the new live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie.
Oh, okay.
There's a whole thing in the first movie where like his sister she has like psychic abilities. That's part of the first movie, is she has like visions and helps the police to locate her brother and things like that's kind of a side plot. And she's almost more of the lead in this movie, like the sister and her psychic visions and what's going on there is a big plot point in the second movie. But I was kind of like, how are they going to make a Black Phone 2 sequel? And now having seen it, I liked it significantly more than I liked the first movie. I thought it was actually pretty good, to the point where I got to see it at Fantastic Fest, and there's a press screening coming up next week, and I think I'm going to go see it again. So I enjoyed it. So I recommend the Black Phone 2, or excuse me, Black Phone 2. If you enjoyed the Black Phone, I think Black Phone 2 is even better. It has some weird plot stuff in it. It's one of those movies that takes like a break in the middle of the movie to kind of explain to you what's happening or how everything ties together. But I think the kills and the scares and the action moments are good enough that it's worth overlooking the flaws of the movie.
I mean, it sounds cool. I like that weird supernatural occult shit. So, like, that's pretty tight.
Well, then you would also like Shelby Oaks, which is a horror movie
Really?
that's coming out, being released by Neon. And it comes out later this month. And it's kind of an interesting blending of the main plot is there's this girl who was part of a like paranormal investigative team that they had like a YouTube
Sick.
series that's pretty popular. And so they do like, first person perspective, like ghost hunting videos. So a lot of the movie is found footage style, almost like Blair Witch Project.
Cool.
Um, but the team, this paranormal investigative team, went missing. Years passed during one of their missions, and one of the people has still never turned up. And so the movie then kind of transitions from this found footage style, like of that, to the sister of the girl that disappeared trying to locate her and find her. And it does this really cool, what I thought was cool, blending of like documentary filmmaking with found footage, but with traditional horror. And this gets into like the occult and things like that too. And I just thought it was like a pretty cool little movie. So I actually recommend it. It comes out later this month. I don't know. Like, I feel like I haven't seen that much marketing for it. I know I saw a preview for it when I saw Together at the theater, but I thought this movie was like kind of a little hidden gem. I don't know if it's going to get the same cult following as like a Blair Witch Project gets, but it was in that same kind of vein to me of just like, it just kind of feels cool. I enjoyed Shelby Oaks.
It sounds pretty tight, actually.
Yeah. And then last, I know I've been going through a lot here, and I've actually been taking more time than I expected to.
So again, man, these sound
last. Primate was the opening night film for Fantastic Fest, and they like to choose something usually wacky to get the crowd hyped. And essentially, what this movie is it's like Cujo, but with a monkey.
dope.
So, yeah, the lead girl, played by Johnny Sequoia, she plays Lucy, and she like returns home with some friends to Hawaii. They have a home in Hawaii, and her dad, who's played by Troy Kotzer, who's the dad in Coda movie that I really liked, and he's a deaf actor. He and that plays into the movie here. Like, he lives in Hawaii. He has a pet monkey. He's a writer. Daughter comes home. Monkey, of course, gets rabies unexpectedly, and then starts going crazy and trying to murder people. And it's pretty fun. Like, it's pretty fun movie, and all the monkey stuff is done practically, and most of it, like, considering that it's a chimp, a lot of it is a guy in a suit, but like, it looks really good. Like, it's kind of shocking how good the practical effects of it are. And it starts off with a really, really wild, gruesome kill, and I was like, man, how's this movie going to top that? And it ends up topping itself later on in the movie. So this will come out in January. It is a Paramount release. It will come out in theaters at the start of the new year. I swear, my birthday is January 6th. Always around that time, it's always some like kind of low budget horror movie comes out in theaters. One year, my birthday movie was Megan, the first Megan. Recently, I think it was maybe last year or the year before, Night Swim, the movie Night Swim, if you remember that was came out around my birthday. And Primate will come out around my birthday this year. I always get like a weird horror movie.
It's pretty good.
That's part of having a January birthday. Not like you, John, who gets all the big holiday releases for your birthday.
You mean like all 3 Lord of the Rings movies?
Exactly.
It's pretty tight. Well, hell yeah,
So
man. Sounds like
that's it.
you
I
had.
think I went through everything.
Sounds
That's
like
not
you
even all
had
the movies
fun.
I saw at the festival, but I can only talk about so many.
Well, yeah, you saw 20 movies.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for Fresh Movies of the Week. Sounds like you had a good time, and that was a nice little showing. So, yeah, check out all the movies you recommended. But we're going to move on to some Fresh TV of the Week while we still have some time here. We'll open up with some Peacemaker. Drew, what do you want to say about Peacemaker?
I'll just say I'm behind one episode. I need to catch up on the most recent one before the finale tomorrow. But I'll just say kind of what I've been saying all season about this show every time I've checked in, which is like, man, I really enjoy the show. Like, I wasn't even that pumped for Peacemaker season 2. I really enjoyed the first season, and we talked about it a lot on this show. But man, when this started up again and I got back into the vibes of it, I have just really been enjoying the twists and turns and performances, and I'm interested to see how it wraps up. There was a pretty big cameo, which I won't spoil here, that was in the last episode that I watched that was cool. It's just the James Gunn of it all, like, even tying a show like Peacemaker into the greater overall DCU. It's interesting. So
Yeah.
I'm still enjoying what DC has been putting out since Superman.
Yeah, so far every single thing that he's touched in the DCU has been connected, including Creature Commandos, which is pretty impressive. Um, but yeah, I'm even further behind than you, but I have made some progress. And holy shit, Tim Meadows is hilarious. Bird Blindness is really funny. Um, and all his little nicknames. I don't know, man. It's the show still got it. It's still hilarious. We're finding out a lot of really cool stuff about just how things work in the Peacemaker world. Season 2 is fantastic. So yeah, if you haven't watched it, the finale's coming out soon. Get caught up. Moving on from that, I have a couple shows. They're both YouTube animations, but one of them has moved on to Netflix. I'll start off with that one, Digital Circus. It is a animated show that started off on YouTube. There's 4 episodes on Netflix now. It's a digital animation show. Essentially the premise is this girl is digitized into a digital world. She puts on a headset. She gets trapped in this digital world. And when she does get trapped, she realizes she's trapped with all these other people that did the same thing. They can't remove their headsets. They're all trapped. Their avatars seem to be randomized. They don't look like themselves. They look like wacky characters. And she's trying to find a way out while being told there's no way out. And they're slowly going insane in this place. It's really bleak, and there's some dark humor. And it's just a really interesting show. It really tickles my particular dark sense of humor and just the things I like. I don't know. It's a weird show, and if you like weird shows, Digital Circus is fun. And like I said, Netflix. And then, speaking of adult animation, if you like shows in the vein of Adventure Time, Steven Universe, that kind of animation style, but you want something a lot more grown up, Knights of Guinevere is a new YouTube show, just premiered recently. I think there's still only 1 episode out. It is beautifully animated. The animation's incredible. Like, you can't tell that it's a YouTube show. It seems like it was out of an animation studio of like a big studio. Essentially, like, they don't give you the full, they don't give you a laydown of like the world or anything. They just give you this window into it. It seems that it takes place on a world that is essentially run by an amusement park company.
In a world.
Yeah, pretty much. And so, like, if you're lucky, you get a job in the park. And if you're not, then you have to work around it and you kind of suffer. It's very dystopian. But the 2 main characters, they end up finding a Guinevere, which is the titular character of the park. It's an AI robot, but all of them are linked so that they have memories of you no matter which Guinevere you're talking about. So, like, it's like they all know you kind of thing. And so they find it, they repair it, and it turns out that there's this whole subplot of, like, it's a real Guinevere, and, like, it's trying to escape. And there's, like, other stuff. It's not really quite clear how it all works at all in the first episode. There's a lot of mystery involved, but it's super interesting. There's a lot of, like, it's cyberpunk meets, like, AI, like with Haley Joel Osment. It's a very interesting show. There's some mech combat going on. I got a lot of, I forget what the show's called. I'm not going to dwell on it. But Knights of Guinevere, I really like this show. I think I want people to watch it because I want it to get approved for more seasons and stuff, and maybe make it onto a major streaming service, kind of like Hell of a Boss recently did. That started off as an internet show too. So check it out. Tell your friends. It's a very impressive thing. That's it for Fresh TV of the week.
Good stuff. Well, moving on to fresh games, I think this is what you were alluding to earlier when you were saying you were jealous of some of these things,
Oh
but
yeah.
I ended up getting there's a big release, a big new PlayStation first party release, Ghost of Yote, the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, and Jahan, it's funny because I was excited for Ghost of Yote. I really liked Ghost of Tsushima. I was like, I'm definitely going to play it, but I have been playing a lot of Borderlands 4. And the fact of the matter is, yeah, Borderlands 4 came out right before I went to the film festival, so I played a lot of it before going. And then kind of took a week off and came back and dove right back into it. I have an almost maxed out character. Like at max level's 50. I think I'm at like 45. I haven't even beaten the main storyline of Borderlands 4. But I've put probably like close to 50 hours into the game. And I talked about it on here before I went to the festival, and just like it's open world, there's a lot of stuff to do. But man, it is a game that I just feel like it takes so long to do anything in that game, and there's tons of side quests all over the place, but none of them are like there's been a few of them that have been kind of memorable and fun, but compared to the past Borderlands games where like so many of the side quests were at least if even if they were boring, they were like funny or there's good comedy or something. Like even that's kind of lacking here. It's a lot of go here, kill these things, get this item. Oh, no, go to this location, kill these things, get an item, come back. I just feel like the side quests and story didn't make much of a dent with me. The gameplay of it is so sharp from a first person shooter perspective, and like the loot grind of it is still fun enough that's why I think I put so many hours into it. But I was definitely getting to a point where it's like I'm feeling kind of burnout on this, but I want to see it through to completion. Oh, but I want to play Ghost of Yote that's out, but like I'll wait till I'm done with Borderlands 4. And then I finally was like, nope, I'm going to put Borderlands 4 down for a second because I feel like I'm not even having fun.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play Ghost of Yote. And boy, am I glad that I did, because Ghost of Yote has been pretty phenomenal. I've put maybe a good like 12 hours into it since it released. And I think I like it better than Ghost of Tsushima. Did you play Ghost of Tsushima, John?
I have not.
Yes.
PlayStation. You lagged out for a second
party.
there. Start over.
Okay. Okay. PlayStation first party open world. Like, I feel like a lot of the PlayStation open world games have a little bit of a formula, but they've done a really good job of refining it to where it's better than something like a Ubisoft collect this, go here, get this tower, go here. You get these icons. This game is a lot more about discovery as you're riding around the beautiful, like truly beautiful environments. Like I stopped to look around more in this game than I probably ever have while riding on horseback. You stumble upon little villages and things where there's little side quest or story moments that flesh out the world. The collectibles and things all help you. Like they're all relevant. They either increase stats or help you learn new skills or give you new items or things like that. Like everything's kind of worth doing. And it's all seamless and it's all cinematic. And anytime you go into like a cutscene, it goes like you get the black bars that come up that give you kind of like that 16:9, like really cinematic look. And I think overall it's just been like a really great experience. And the funny thing is, I haven't even done that much of the main story in it because I have just been exploring thoroughly the first major area and getting all of the different collectibles and things like that. And none of it's been boring. So yeah, I'm early in it, even though I've put like a dozen hours into it. But so far, I'm like, no, this is going to be a game that I probably see through to full 100% completion. The combat's great. The traversal is great. And it's so funny. I was thinking about it while playing. Like, I was climbing up a mountain and doing all this stuff. And I was thinking about like an Assassin's Creed game, right? Where they've been doing the Assassin's Creed formula for almost 20 years at this point. I think the first Assassin's Creed came out in 2007.
Yeah.
And even the most recent Assassin's Creed games sometimes still feel clunky to me in the movement and the way that the parkour system's designed. And it's because, you run along a fence and jump and grab a rope and then jump on this thing and climb up this. And it's like more like a parkour style. But sometimes still Assassin's Creed, it just doesn't work the way you want it to. And like playing something like Ghost of Yotei, which is less traversal focused, but the traversal in it is still so good that I'm like, man, how did they make this so smooth? Now, granted, Sucker Punch, who developed it, did like the Sly Cooper games and the Infamous games, which were very movement focused and had that part of it, so it's all built in here. But it's just really really well done. So I give it the highest praise.
Hell yeah, that makes me happy. Yeah, apparently there's a Sly Cooper Fox mask that you can get that's like a reference to that. Yeah, no,
I've
I
seen
was.
also there's like a Death Stranding mask or something too.
That's
in
cool.
it. I've seen pictures of those things, but I haven't found any of it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm really excited because Erika Ishii, she's the voice actress and motion capture and the model for the character. And, I've always watched her. She's on Dropout TV, which is something I've told you about before, which has, like, they're the college humor people that became, like, Game Changer and all these other shows on, like, this original streaming service. So she does a lot of that, but she also does a lot of tabletop role playing stuff. She did.
She's one of the main companions in the most recent Dragon Age game.
She was in Dragon Age Vanguard.
Arguably the most memorable one too.
Yeah, now these are two. Those are two of her major accomplishments recently. Before that, she was like a TTRPG actress, like player, and all this other stuff. Kind of more in like the space that me and Gary gravitate in. And so it's really cool to see her succeeding like this and like getting out there, like breaking out of the space and becoming a successful voice actress. And so I'm just really happy that this game's successful, because it's been getting a lot of hate because, it's like, oh, the first game had a man. Why is this a woman? And like, stupid stuff like that. And so I'm just happy that it's a solid game, man. It's cool.
He is the lead character that she plays in this is arguably, to me, I think I'm more invested in her story than I was in Jin's story in the first game. So I'll put it that way. And like, it's relatively simple. It's a clear revenge story. Oh no, Erika Ishii was actually one of the voices of the main playable character in Dragon Age Veilguard. That's what she was.
Hell
you
yeah.
could play as her. Anyway, sorry for that distraction. But
That's all good. Yeah, I mean, she's a good actress and she's very emotive, and I could see why you would. But yeah, speaking of games where it's a sequel where the gender is switched, Hades 2 is the one that I want to talk about, and this is one of the most anticipated games. It's a real hot ticket game this year. Did you play Hades 1?
I did, and actually, I'm not big into those roguelike games, but I thought it was pretty fun. I didn't play like a whole lot of it, but enough to kind of get the feel of it because I knew it was so well regarded. And Hades 2 is like, man, if there's going to be a game that gets you into that genre, like seems like the game to do it.
Exactly.
The best of the best.
Hades 1 was exactly that. It was like, even if you don't like roguelikes, that game is just a cut above. Hades 2, I haven't played it the most. I played it a good amount, like, to kind of get my feet wet. I've watched Jenny play a shit ton, and this game improves on every aspect of the first game. It has way more options. You have entirely new things you can do. You have weapons like you did in the first one where you can switch your weapons. They have different attacks and everything. But now you also have familiars you can unlock. They added new gods that you can get boons from. There are new types of resources to manage. There's all sorts of new attacks and like options, and you're not just trying to delve into the dungeon and escape anymore. You can also now go up So like you can go down to try to fight Kronos, and that's like your original goal. But you can also go up to try to engage in the battle for Olympus now. So there's two different paths you can take now, which is double what you could do before. There's this whole crazy war story going on. The stakes are higher than they ever were in the first one. The character is wonderful. Meloise, I believe is how you say it. She's a really interesting character. And you could do all these cool like new spell things in the cauldron, and there's just a lot of new things to unlock, new things to do, new gameplay customizations, tarot cards, and all these other options. It's Hades 1 but better in every way. So this game's fire, dude. I love it. If you liked Hades 1, if you like roguelike games, Hades 2 is it. So this is the game that I've been kind of obsessing over lately. So check it out.
I'm sorry, did you say, have you been playing it on Switch 2? Or where are you playing
On
it?
the Switch 2. Nice. I don't think it's on Xbox, actually, yet.
I don't think so. I want to say it's on, like, PC and Switch 2, and that's it.
Let me see, actually. Let's check it out.
I'm looking this up, too. Because it came out... No, it just came out... I feel like, had it been out already?
Oh, yeah. So you can play Hades 2 on the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC via Steam and Epic Game Stores. You cannot play on PlayStation or Xbox.
Okay, well, there you go.
So there you go. But you can play on the original Switch. But Switch 2, it is, like, upgraded and smoother, better graphics, all that stuff. But yeah, so there you go. It's a fire game. Check it out if you have access to those. I believe it's planned to come to the other consoles eventually. Right. Just a timed exclusive or some shit like that. Yeah, I absolutely recommend it. It's fantastic. I love it. But that's it for fresh games, and that's it for everything. So all that's left to do is our fresh picks of the week. What do you got for me, Drew?
I'm going to kind of cheat because if it was more timely, like if we had done an episode last week, my fresh pick of the week would have been One Battle After Another, because it's the best movie I've seen this year, and I think it's so good. But for recency's sake, and the thing that's the most now for me, Ghost of Yote is going to be my fresh.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm in it. I'm really enjoying it. It's got its hooks in me. It's the classic, what we always say on this show, right? It's like, you and I are recording this podcast, but that game is what I want to be doing right now. Like, I want to be playing that game.
I have the exact same situation. If we had recorded last time, I would have said Knights of Guinevere, because I watched it back then. But since we're doing it this week, it's Hades 2, baby, because I also would rather be doing that.
Yeah, man.
Well, that was good. That was a fantastic podcast, as always, because we're the best. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I hope you're listening. This has been Fresh Out the Podcast. I have been the board game guru, game master extraordinaire, Jahananan.
And I'm the professional media and movie mastermind, the Funhouse, Drew Munhausen. And thank you for listening to episode 161 of Fresh Out the Podcast. John, are you a Tron fan? Like Tron?
I'm not a Jared Leto fan.
Who is?
I'm a huge Nine Inch Nails fan, though, so I'm very conflicted.
Fair enough. Yeah, it comes out this weekend, and I'm like not hyped for it, but I did like Tron Legacy, I think, more than most. I like the vibes of Tron. I'm with you. I'm not a Jared Leto fan. Debating if I'm going to go see that this weekend.
I'd go as far as to say that I fucking hate Jared Leto.
Yeah.
But I really like Nine Inch Nails.
Defending the guy. Yeah, anyway, I brought that up because I might talk about it on the next podcast. We will see.
We'll see.
But again, thank you. 161 episodes of friendship. Looking forward to episode 162 when that happens.
Me too, buddy. Stay fresh.